Some of these mountain roads can be hard to navigate even in broad daylight. Adding drinks into the mix as well as the darkness of night, well, it's a recipe for disaster. Sammy Smith cooperated with the investigation, as did Kylie's reported ex-boyfriend, Jagger. But media interviews with Sammy and Jagger presented the public with discrepancies. Speculation circulated about the relationship between Kylie, Sammy, and Jagger. Many reported that Sammy and Kylie were not as close as Sammy had led the police to believe. At the time of her disappearance, Kylie and Sammy weren't even friends on social media, but internet sleuths discovered that Sammy and Jagger were. When Sammy and Jagger requested via social media that all in-person leads be directed to them instead of the authorities so that they could, quote, filter information, well, many started to get the feeling that something much more sinister had occurred. This, coupled with what many believed to be suspicious behavior, led to the belief that the girl claiming to be friends with Kylie may have had something to do with her disappearance. Following Jagger's public request that he be contacted with the leads, the Placer County Sheriff's Department released a statement via Twitter on August 11th, saying that they never instructed Jagger to collect witness testimony. They emphasized that all information be relayed directly to them. This only increased public suspicion around Jagger and Sammy. As photo and video footage from the party started surfacing, it was sent over to be reviewed by the authorities. By August 12, 2022, the search for Kylie intensified. Authorities and volunteers extensively searched her last known location as well as her home, looking for anything that might have led them to finding Kylie. In a town hall meeting the week after her disappearance, the Placer County Sheriff's Office outlined their extensive searches. Officials told news outlets that they'd searched as far north as Sierraville and as far east as Verde. To the south, they searched all around Truckee and extended beyond the Jackson Meadows Reservoir to the west, about a 25-mile radius from her last known location. People from the area volunteering in the search explained they didn't believe Kylie or her car was still in the Tahoe National Forest, which stretches over 800,000 miles. This is a vast and scenic area with a diverse landscape ranging from rugged peaks and dense forest to immaculate lakes and rivers. Kylie could have been anywhere, but the search team felt confident that if she was in that forest, they would have found her by now. Due to conflicting information about Kylie's relationships with Jagger, Sammy, and other partygoers, many were left thinking the worst, but hoping for the best. All the while, authorities continued to piece things together bit by bit. At a press conference on August 12th, law enforcement informed the public that they'd received reports from people inside the community that there was an adult dissuading people from coming forward, prompting officials to open a 100% anonymous online portal where people could submit photos, videos, and other information concerning Kylie's disappearance. By this point, the case was just getting downright bizarre. It seemed exceedingly clear that someone knew something, and they were going to every possible effort to make sure that this information didn't get out. By August 13th, law enforcement held another press conference where Public Information Officer Angela Musala explained that they had ramped up their search for the weekend. She explained that on August 12th, there was a potential burial site that was located near the campground that had been found by search and rescue ground teams in the area. She continued saying that Kylie's family was notified, and the FBI responded to the scene, accompanied by the Placer and Nevada County Sheriff's offices, whereupon further examination, they uncovered the remains of a dog. Angela went on to address the audience by saying, "Let me be clear. We have one team, one mission, and one goal, and that's to find Kylie Rodney." As the 9th day of the missing person investigation came to an end, the Placer County Sheriff's Office continued to follow up on 720 leads, looking for a single tip to lead them in the right direction. Meanwhile, people across the nation continued to speculate about what happened to Kylie, sitting on the edge of their seats waiting for the next clue. Occam's razor says that it's usually the simplest answer, but with an accident looking less and less likely with each passing day, what's the next simplest answer? What else could possibly cause someone to vanish without a trace from a crowded party? For a little over 2 weeks, Kylie's family had to go to sleep each night, not knowing where their precious daughter was, and her friends faced accusations from strangers all across the nation. And police worked tirelessly to find this missing girl. But then, a breakthrough. On August 21st, 2022, search and rescue YouTubers Adventures with Purpose pulled Kylie Rodney's silver CRV from the Prosser Reservoir. Adventures with Purpose is a YouTube channel that focuses primarily on cold cases. They specialize in underwater recoveries. When Kylie initially went missing, many familiar with their recoveries requested they join the search for the missing girl, and the team were happy to oblige. AWP states that a law enforcement agency reached out to them and asked for their help. Yet when they arrived, they were told that the lake had already been extensively searched with dive teams and there was nothing there. The search began in Prosser Reservoir at 10:40 a.m. on August 21st. They launched 2 sonar boats, one of which located an object at 11:15 a.m., 55 feet offshore and in only 14 feet of water, using a specialized Garmin sonar device. Nick, one of the divers, entered the water and confirmed the vehicle was the one belonging to Kylie Rodney by matching the license plate. A diver was sent down, and unfortunately, he found a body inside the cargo area of the vehicle. According to Adventures with Purpose, the Garmin EchoMap Ultra that they used to locate the vehicle cost around $2,500, a small investment for a police force of this size. It appears to be a solid investment for search and rescue teams. So if this technology is crucial for underwater searches, and a simple YouTube channel managed to purchase one, why are search and rescue teams in the area not using it? The FBI must have had the latest technology, so why were they unable to find the vehicle in the 2 weeks they helped local agencies in the search? After making the discovery, AWP made a Facebook post about the recovery mission. The team maintains that they reached out to law enforcement first, as they were working with them to locate Kylie. But at the press conference the following day, the spokesperson for the sheriff's department stated that AWP never reached out to them and that the police had to go out of their way to contact the team. Due to the amazing reputation of AWP, people have been skeptical about this information, with some believing that local law enforcement were just embarrassed by their oversight. The discovery of Kylie's vehicle was devastating to her family and the community. But even worse was when police made the haunting announcement: the body found in the back of the car was, unfortunately, Kylie. Most would assume that this would be the end of it, case closed. But things continued to get weirder from here, as people began to question local law enforcement about their efforts in finding Kylie. Doug and Nick of Adventures with Purpose stressed that they have a unique and rare skill set, and that aiding police agencies in this way is an honor. They acknowledged their support for law enforcement across the US, including the FBI. But as the news of the discovery surfaced, many people following the case began to wonder, how could the men from Adventures with Purpose do in less than 2 hours what several agencies, large and small, couldn't accomplish in 2 weeks? Adventures with Purpose discovered Kylie's vehicle upside down in an area that had been, quote, extensively searched by authorities. This led many to question the competence of local law enforcement, and rightfully so, especially since a trail camera in the area shows that at 12:32 a.m. on August 6th, a vehicle drove straight into the water where Kylie was found, and at the exact location where her cell phone last pinged. The local police department said that they'd spent over 15,000 man-hours searching for Kylie, only for another team to come in and find her in less than 2 hours, in the same spot where her phone last pinged. Aerial views of the location clearly show something in the water where they recovered her body. So if there were air searches conducted, how was this missed? If she drove her vehicle into the water, it should have driven through the sand. How were those tracks missed when her mom reported her missing the very next morning, less than 12 hours after she'd vanished? Doug Bishop from AWP went on to state in an interview that he found the circumstances extremely suspicious. He cites many of the things already discussed, that she was highly intelligent, on her way to college, and disappears from a large party only to be found a few hundred yards away. He explains that it isn't possible that Kylie went the wrong way down the road. He explains that this road was one way in and one way out, not to mention a road that she was very familiar with. Yet the road her vehicle ended up on had a very hard, sharp left turn onto a rough dirt road that requires four-wheel drive. Essentially, whether she was drunk or not, Kylie would have known immediately she wasn't going the right way, making her crash even more suspicious. Doug Bishop explains that where she was found within the vehicle, in the cargo compartment, was also suspicious, and that the whole thing just doesn't add up. The fact that no one is willing to talk is a huge red flag and adds to this suspicion. While this very well could be an accident, there are many inconsistencies in this story. Her friends stated that she seemed too drunk to drive and reported strange men at the party, but had no problem leaving her there alone. She clearly and